I'm just really tired of dumb shit. Go ahead, Dusty.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Well, let's answer some questions, Lonzo. Some that we didn't get to last week, and if you have any questions in the comments, please post them, and I'll copy and paste. Park on one asks, can you talk about the white dude from CMW and Capone? Thank you.
And Capone, yeah, and Capone was real cool. In fact, I'm looking for him. I was asking Chill to have a line on him. I'd love to bring him on the show. And Capone was a young dude from CMW. He wasn't the main rapper. He was super cool, and his dad was his main supporter. Okay, his dad was his main supporter, and old man Capone. I forgot his name. It wasn't Capone. It was call him old man something. He's on my Compton compilation, and if you hear this or one of my songs, get off my yard, all that goddamn noise, some shit like that. And he's talking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's old man Capone. And Ant was a cool dude, but he just decided to move on. He didn't stick around for the whole situation. Chill was getting in trouble. Started moving on without him. Mike T came and joined the crew, and I don't really think Ant was a rapper. He may have rapped, but he wasn't as good as Chill and 8. But he was around for a couple of photo shoots, and he kind of faded. When they got to Unknown, he kind of faded into the background. I haven't seen him in decades.
Okay. Chris Stacks has a good question, kind of piggybacking off what we were just talking about. Lonzo, what do you think killed the family unit?
Money and the illusion that you don't need a man. So many women in the 70s, 60s, and 70s were told they don't need a man. In fact, if you watch old movies in the 60s and from the early 70s, movies like Geraldine, okay? Here's some homework. Go to one of them old television program, old television streaming channels, and type in Geraldine, Claudine with Diane Carroll and my man's name, James Earl Jones. And they'll show you how the game was. If you had kids, they would give you all the money you needed. The government, well, not all the money you needed. They give you just enough money to survive. But if you had a man in your life, they would cut your money out, and you could not live in these projects. They literally divided the family up based on of help. So if a woman got pregnant by a man, she would get welfare. And one of the songs called Mr. Welfare. Okay, you'll see how this woman would run, hide telephones and irons and anything this man gave her. He loved her. He gave her gifts, but they were household gifts. They wasn't Gucci bags and shit. It was the necessities. He gave her a phone and a toaster and an ironing board, and she had to hide all this shit because if you didn't, they saw you got some new shit. They figured you either was working. If you was working, they deducted from you. You only could have so much money, and so many people bought into that. Then the county system kicked in, and again, there's all kind of assistance for single mothers without fathers. So it's almost behooving to a woman to get pregnant because you can get all kind of benefits. You can get Section 8. You can get assistance from the from the government. You can get county assistance. You can get crystal stairs. You get all kind of shit. If there's not a man in the house, if there's a man in the house, all that shit is his responsibility, and you won't get that shit. So I've known situations where women were taught, get pregnant, get you some Section 8, get you this, get you that, get you this. That was an old way of thinking for years, man. So, get some dick, get pregnant, get a baby, go down to the county office, get your Section 8, and that shit will work till the kid turned 18. And it was a hustle. The more kids you had, the more money you made. But you can't have daddies can't be around. Then they take around, then they got smart and then start sticking to daddy with the bill. The daddy got stuck with the bill. So there's no incentive. She ain't got to like you, but she can get paid. I know it wasn't a lot of money, but if you're not well educated or don't have any real aspirations to do anything big or super any incentive, do anything really aspiring, that shit can be cool. Got enough money that I can eat, can smoke while I smoke, drink what I drink, live where I ain't got to work. Just take care of my kids, and I ain't got to do it. Halfway do that shit. Wasn't nobody keeping tabs on how what the kids are doing in school. It wasn't until the 90s They started having these programs where if your kid, if anybody lived in a house committed a felony, you know, any kind of government aid, they kick everybody out. That's why you got so many homeless people right now.
Yep. Yep.
The son, if the son lived in the house and the mama was on Section 8 and he got caught selling dope, whatever the case may be, everybody out. Everybody out. So you got a shitload of people that were put in the streets behind government programs. I remember when I was visiting my daughter where they lived at, I used to go over there sometimes, and when she was real young, I'd pull up in the driveway, man, and I'd be nervous because it'd be niggas everywhere. Because Section 8 moms was the perfect person to parole home to. So these guys would be in jail, or homies, whatever the case may be. They hook them up in jail, then they get out of jail, and they got somebody they can hit, they can bone on, they can, you know, get their freak on with, and a place to stay. And a lot of times they wouldn't be on the rent, but they still would come in and crash there. And then a lot of them couldn't get jobs no time soon, so they would hang out, blah, blah, blah. Very uncomfortable situation. I got away with it because some of them knew me. But then they changed the law that said no felon could live in any government-assisted property. And now them guys disappeared. They were gone. They were gone like thieves in the night, because now the woman got to stand up against her brother, even if you was your family member, they could not stay in that property if they had a felony. So people got turned away and sent out to the streets. And like I said, like God, either gotta get your shit together, or you're gonna get you a box. And that's how much shit has changed in my time.
Crazy, man. That's crazy. Since we're talking about kids, Lonzo, N.W.A. Youngboy just welcomed his 11th child at age 23. All I'm thinking is child support. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Well, you know, I think Nick Cannon has made kids seem like they gold chains. The more you got, the more money you make, or whatever the case may be. And in some countries, having a lot of kids is a sign of wealth. Unfortunately, that country ain't America. It's a sign to be probably going to be destitute. Because here's the crazy part, man. They don't really. The first mothers tend to get the most money, and the other ones tend to get less money. And it all depends on the mother's income and time spent with the kid and a bunch of variables. But usually the kids and the first kids may get the most amount of money. And sometimes, depending on who the judge is, they'll level it out. They'll give everybody the same amount of money. But again, it depends on the mother's income and some other factors that I've kind of forgot right now. But I've talked to people about this, because child support has always been an issue, a situation I've always been interested in, because it seems in some cases, not all, some cases, the perfect crime. It can be the perfect crime if left in the hands of the wrong person. And it's one of those situations that definitely needs some attention, needs to be overhauled, and take away the incentive of creating a bunch of fatherless children. But come on, man, if you can get a ball player, get pregnant by a ball player and get him to give you $25,000, $30,000 a month for child support, why wouldn't you? Shit, think about it. You got girlfriends, women that have slept with ball players, they get 40, 50 grand a month child support. Child support. Just because his money says he can afford it, that's what we got to give up. Okay? Dude, come on, man. Blake, was it the chick that Blake Griffin got pregnant? She makes like $500,000 a year just in child support. She got two babies by two different ball players, and one is like two something. Blake was giving over 300,000. The other guy's giving two something. $500,000 a year in child support.
Break it down for him, Lonzo, because
it's 15%.
They're basing it off what they're making now. That doesn't mean they're going to make it forever. Now,
right.
Now tell that to the guy who's making, let's say $26 an hour. He gets hit with child support at $26 an hour. Shit, he may get a job in 6 months that pays him $12 an hour. He still has to pay that.
It's 15% of your gross income before taxes, and it's not tax deductible. So understand your taxes. If the average person pays about 33% in taxes, okay, and then you get hit with another 15%, that's 48%. That means half your money is gone. 48% of your money is gone before you get it. Okay? And here's the crazy part. If you got any kind of heart, you still gonna spend money on your kid. But they still, that 15% that mom get, there's no stipulation. She can go to the beauty shop, the car dealership. And then she got to spend on the kid. There's no accountability. Just like I said earlier, there's no accountability. You never heard nobody auditing a baby mama. Nobody audit them. They just spend the money what they like. They want to go on vacations.
Crazy to me. That's so crazy.
They don't audit them. They just spend the money however they want to. Now they can go on to court. They can walk into court. The child has piano lessons. He has skiing lessons. He has violin lessons. He's a hockey player. He rides horses. He plays piano. He plays saxophone. He is all this right here, and they'll calculate all that shit right there to give you the goddamn bill. 2 weeks later, the kid ain't none of that shit. And they don't, unless you go back and pitch a bitch and want to spend the money to hire a lawyer to go back in court to prove that she didn't do it. All she got to do is go back and get some more receipts saying that she is doing it long enough to justify the judge. Dude, you can go broke doing that shit. You can go broke doing that shit. And I've seen so many brothers. In fact, right here in Manhattan Beach on Hawaii Street, me and a buddy of mine was doing a documentary on the child support system. And I see brothers that come out there crying, dude. Literally crying. One brother just got his doctor's degree, or MBA or something like that. Didn't have a job on his second child. And he got a girl pregnant while he was in school. And they had him paying $2,500 a month based on his potential income. Based on his, nigga ain't got a job yet, but based on his potential income, he got to kick in $2,500. Here's the sad part. He got somebody else pregnant. They gave her the same thing based on his potential. He's paying 30 racks a year in child support and ain't got a job. He's responsible for 30 racks a year in child support with no job. So now your credit is going to be shot to hell. How do you get a job with your credit looking like this right here? You're desperate. You know your situation. I mean, you can't come up. Then they'll bring the child support down if you spend more time with your children. But how are you going to spend time with them and you half your money is gone? How are you supposed to do it? In this case, shit, he might have had 3/4 of his money could be gone. It's a cold ass game, dude. It's a cold ass game. And there's no recourse. I know a brother that was living with a girl. She was getting the crystal stairs coming to her mama's house. They stuck him with the bill. He lay next to her every week. Every damn day they together. His kids and all, he go to get his paycheck. He's short. What the fuck happened? Well, child support. I take care of my kids. That's what they tell you now. Well, it's fraud. Yes, it is fraud. But if you want, do you really want to send your baby's mama to jail? Oh no. Well, it's going to pay the 13 or whatever it was. Now pay the money back and she ain't got to go to jail. But if she just that been a credit card or a bank situation, fuck her and them kids. Bitch going to jail. Okay? Don't give a fuck about them kids. See, somebody got to take care of why she goes do her time. And that's the head game they play with you. I'm not telling you something I heard. I'm telling you something I know for a fact. Okay? I ain't calling no names to protect the innocent.
Man, fair enough, dude. Men know where your sperm goes. When you ejaculate into that condom, make sure you take that motherfucker home with you. First of all, don't take a condom from a female. All due respect, women. I know there's some good women out there, but men, bring your own shit. Never know what's going on. You never know how old that condom is. And once you do your business in that condom, you wrap that shit up, put it in your pocket, and throw it away down the street or something. Do not throw it in her trash can.
Don't flush it. Dude, I call that baby batter. Okay? Baby batter. That shit can cost you, can get her an 18-year annuity. 18 years, baby. Man, I calculated how much child support I paid in my life. You're talking to somebody who did it. Dude, and look here, man. I love all my kids. I would not even imagine them not being here. But my first kid was a little different. My first child support was $35 a month. I would get paid every week at Kenny's. I was bringing home $140 a week. They charged me $33 a week, $120 a month. Okay, and sometimes I couldn't pay that. Okay, my other daughter, me and her mom had a better arrangement. It was much more equitable. I spent more time with my daughter. She was with me a lot more, and I'd give her money, my money as she needed. And I took care of all the holiday stuff. That was our agreement. Holidays, Christmas, whatever. What you need here? I didn't birthdays, whatever. I got it. By the time I was doing the club, my other kids, I had to kick in. One of my kids' mom, we've always been cool. She was always reasonable. Okay, just give me this right here and help out on the holidays, whatever. No problem. I see my kid on a regular basis. Other situations were not as equitable. They were good, but they should have been better. I'm not gonna put all the business out in the street, but I was telling the story to my buddy earlier today. That's probably why it's fresh in my mind. My one kid's mom, we don't have no problem with the kids whatsoever. Other ones, we can have some issues from time to time. Yes, we can have some issues. And ain't nothing more frustrating, man, than your kid to be used as a weapon against you. Especially if they want to see you. Especially if they want to hang with you or be with you, and somebody tells them no because they come up with some bullshit. Well, you got to go to church today. Well, I went to church. I was at church all day Sunday. Well, I got to go Wednesday too. I'm being possible. Oh, we got, and then after a while the kids start saying the bullshit, and that's when it gets sad. And I'm gonna change the subject before I get pissed off.
I hear you on that, bro. I know a lot of men out there can feel you on that one, dude.